Once upon a time, in a small village tucked between gentle hills and a mysterious, deep forest, there lived an old woodcarver named Geppetto. Geppetto was a kind man, though a bit lonely, and his greatest wish was to have a child to love and care for. So one day, he decided to carve a wooden boy from the finest wood he could find. He spent many hours, day and night, crafting this boy, shaping every detail with his loving hands. And when he was finished, he named the boy Pineo. Now, Pineo wasn't just any ordinary wooden boy. No, that night, as Geppetto slept, something truly magical happened. A soft, glowing light filled the workshop. And who should appear but a fairy, a real fairy. She had wings like a dragonfly's and a dress that shimmered like 1,000 stars. This fairy, you see, had seen the love and care Geppetto had put into carving Pineo, and she decided to bring him to life. With a wave of her wand and a sparkle of magic dust, Pineo opened his wooden eyes, wiggled his wooden toes, and could move, talk, and think, just like a real boy. But the fairy had a message for Pineo. "You are alive because of Geppetto's love," she said. "But to become a real flesh and blood boy, you must prove yourself brave, truthful, and unselfish." And with that, she was gone, leaving Pineo with his new life and a big, important task. The next morning, Geppetto was overjoyed to find his wooden boy alive. Imagine his surprise and happiness. Pineo was just like a son to him, and he taught Pineo everything he could about the world. But, like all children, Pineo was curious, sometimes a little too curious. On his way to school one day, Pineo met a fox named Felino and a cat named Mira. Now these two were clever, maybe too clever, and they convinced Pineo to skip school and follow them to a place called Funland. They promised him endless games, candy, and all sorts of fun things. But Funland wasn't what it seemed. Oh no, it was a trap! The other children there were turning into wooden puppets, losing their ability to think and feel. Pineo started to feel it too. His limbs stiffened, and his heart grew heavy with regret. He realized that he had been tricked. But don't worry, because just when Pineo thought he was doomed, the fairy returned. She wasn't angry, but she reminded him of his promise to be brave, truthful, and unselfish. With her help, Pineo escaped Funland and ran back to Geppetto, promising never to be so foolish again. But the story isn't over yet. One day, Geppetto went out to sea and didn't come back. Pineo, worried for his father, set out on a grand adventure across the ocean to find him. And find him he did, but inside the belly of a giant whale. Inside that dark, wet belly, Pineo found Geppetto, who had been searching for him too. Pineo didn't panic, he was brave, remember? He came up with a clever plan to escape. By tickling the whale from the inside, they made it sneeze them both out, sending them safely back to shore. Back home, Geppetto was tired and needed rest. Pineo, remembering his promise, took care of him with all the love and attention he could muster. And do you know what happened next? The fairy appeared one last time. She smiled at Pineo and said, "You have proven yourself, Pineo. You are now a real boy." And just like that, Pineo's wooden body transformed into a real flesh and blood boy. Geppetto was so happy, and they lived together, full of love and laughter.